Good afternoon to everybody that's joining for the Zoom docket. Please do keep yourself on mute until I call your case. When I call your case, you'll push *6 or the microphone icon to respond. First calling Brian Mesa Esparza, EM 16007, EM 16008.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mesa. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No.
All right, and it looks like you have these two cases here, but it looks like they are duplicates of each other. The prosecutor has reviewed your file, and what he has determined is that there is insufficient evidence to prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. So he is asking that the court dismiss both of the citations that were issued. He's also indicated that you did have proof of insurance. Is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
I just got one case, like one ticket, just one. That's the you are talking about?
What does your case number have? What does your ticket number?
Let me see. Citation is where are the number of the case? Where in the corner?
Yeah, so it's going to be.
Say citation?
Yep, citation, it says EM.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you the last 5 numbers, right?
Great.
Okay. 16008.
Okay, so I think what happened is probably that you were able to provide your insurance on scene, and the officer issued a citation originally for not having insurance, and then you had it, so he gave a different citation, but the system didn't cancel out the original one that he wrote. So we actually got 2 tickets. So the prosecutor figured that out, and he's asked that the court dismiss both of those tickets.
Great.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
All right.
So
go ahead.
So the ticket he gave it to me the first time about I don't got insurance. That one gonna be canceled?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the second one, the careless driving charge, is also getting dismissed because the city does not believe there is sufficient evidence.
Okay.
So both of your cases are dismissed. You are free to leave the call. Have a good rest of your day.
So that's all?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Calling Luis Vega, EM 10649. And you can just, thank you. Mr. Vega, any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed? All right, and it looks like you have a ticket here that includes a charge of no proof of insurance, and you'd like to get a continuance to get that proof, is that correct? Do you want to talk to the prosecutor again? Absolutely, we'll send him your file, let him know, so we can maybe take care of you today. You bet. All right, and for my online folks, do I have Chris Garcia, EM 3681?
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Garcia. Any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed today?
No.
All right, one moment while I pull up your ticket. Mr. Garcia, you have a ticket here from January 23rd for speeding. It is a 6-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 4-point charge of speeding. Would you like to accept that offer?
Yeah.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes.
How do you plead to the 4-point charge of speeding on January 23rd, 2022 in the 12,700 block of East 104th Avenue in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you'd like me to know before I impose the fine?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Garcia, why were you going 80 and 45?
No excuse. I was just being stupid, I guess.
Take a look at your driving record real quick. On the past ones, I forgot, I was marking, I forget what he writes. What does he write?
Just the letter O.
I'm just doing on
Those
record. Okay. All right. All right. Mr. Garcia, it looks like you have 3 tickets in the last 2 years. 4 points counting against you for the 1-year time period, 11 for the 2. This is going to put you at 15 for 2 years, which means you only have 3 points left until August 8th of 2020. If you lose more than 3 between now and that time, that's going to put you over your point limit.
Okay.
So you really need to be careful. All right, sir, the fine in your case hang on a moment. The fine in your case is $360. There are $20 of court costs. There's a $9 surcharge. Or $9 fuel charge. There is a 30% surcharge. You are going to be receiving an email from my clerk that has your payment options in there. You can either pay that in full by coming to the courthouse, mailing or dropping it off. You can pay online. If you need a payment arrangement, that option will be available to you as well. If you do set up a payment plan, you need to make sure that you pay or appear on any dates that are provided to you, or a balance could be sent to collections and additional charges get added. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good rest of your day. You are free to exit the call. Brenda Riggenhagen, EM 3616. Hi there. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you've reviewed? All right, thank you, ma'am. And one moment while I open up your case. All right, you have a ticket here from July 8th, 2021, a charge of indecent exposure. The prosecutor has indicated that if you plead guilty to that charge, he's recommending a minimal fine only. Is this how you would like to resolve your case?
Yes.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision? Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up the right to have an attorney? Do you understand that you're giving up the right to have a trial and have the city prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt? Do you understand that you're giving up the right to confront witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own? Do you understand that you're giving up the right to testify or to remain silent? Do you understand that you're giving up the right to appeal? The maximum penalty that may be imposed against you is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing? The charge of indecent exposure states that it shall be unlawful for any person to knowingly expose his or her genitals to the view of any person under circumstances in which such conduct is likely to cause affront or alarm to the other person. Do you understand the charge you are pleading guilty to? Do you agree that there were facts supporting that charge against you on July 8th, 2021 in the area of 4850 East 62nd Avenue in Commerce City, Colorado? Have you ever served in the U.S. military? How do you plead to the charge of indecent exposure? Thank you. I accept your guilty plea, find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you would like me to know about your case before I impose the sentence?
I never exposed my genitalia to anybody, just on record. I do apologize. I was riding my bicycle with a sports bra on, and I do apologize if my behavior will be interpreted poorly, but I've been trying to do my community service, and it's been really hard during the COVID thing. So I just am trying to get this taken care of. I moved and I'm trying to go into a program.
Okay, I'm going to take a look at the report real quick. What kind of program are you trying to get
I'm
into?
trying to go to Fort Lyons.
It's difficult to get into Fort Lyons if
I've
you,
already been referred. I'm just waiting on a bed, and that's why I'm really trying to.
and I was going to say that if you get a bed, you must accept it. Do not wait. Do not make an excuse. You need to take it because, as you know, it is very difficult to get one.
Right. And I've been waiting, but I mean, I'm within, I think, about 2 weeks. I spoke with the outreach coordinator a couple of weeks ago, and she said, I was close. So I've been just trying to take care of everything that I've had, but I did do part of my community service at the Lakewood Art. They closed the store due to a fire, so I lost my paperwork there. And I just would rather just get it all over with so that I don't have to worry about getting back or having.
Well, I am disappointed that you didn't do the community service.
Right. Well, I could.
You could have had the ability to have this case dismissed if you had just done that.
Well,
I've sent hundreds of people to do community service in the last
he
year.
told me he'd give me another chance to do it. I mean, and
Yeah.
I could do it, but I mean, he's only giving me 3 weeks at a time, and most of the places that are taking people now, I mean, I've been calling the humane societies and everything, you have to get on it, you have to apply as a volunteer, go through a orientation, it just simply, the 3 weeks has not turned out to be enough. And then when I did start doing it over at the Arc, I couldn't believe it, but they locked the doors and I can't even get my paperwork out of there. So, I mean, that's just like 14 hours down the drain that I did. And I don't mind doing the community service. It's just that because of the COVID regulations right now, most places that are used to taking them, I mean, like food banks, all the humane societies, the animal shelters, they're not taking any volunteers at this time,
Okay.
It's just been a real.
So did you want to go forward with this plea then, Ms. Regenhagen?
If you'll
Regenhagen?
still give me one more time, I'd rather not plead guilty to, because I'm afraid of the case, actually, because I don't want to have that record, obviously.
Yeah,
And I did ask him, just what would happen if I just went ahead, but I can still do the community service I prefer. To do the community
all right,
service.
we're gonna have to get the okay from the prosecutor because he marked that out on his plea form.
Yeah, because I asked him about the fine, but then I thought about.
Let me
the
see if
long-term
Adam will-
thing,
All right, go ahead and have a seat. We're gonna make sure he's okay with it and then I'll recall you back up. For my online folks, do I have Eva Valeriano, EM 1967?
Yes,
Good afternoon, ma'am. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
no,
All right, one moment while I open your summons. Looks like you have a ticket here from January 30th, a charge of speeding. That is a 4-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle. Would you like to accept that offer today?
yes, ma'am.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No,
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
no,
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
yes, I understand.
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on January 30th, 2022 in the 10,900 block of Highway 2 in Commerce City, Colorado.
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you would like me to know before I impose the fine?
Like I mentioned before, the vehicle that stopped me, the officer did not have any police tags. And when he got on the road, he was driving right next to me like he was trying to cut me off.
Gotcha. All right, I'm just looking at your driving record. It looks like you haven't had any tickets in quite some time.
Correct.
All right, I am going to impose an $80 fine. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge. There is a 30% surcharge. My clerk will have a total for that to provide to you. That will
Okay.
come to you by email. In that email, you'll get your payment options that can be done in person, online, or through the mail. You'll have a date where that payment is due. If you need payment arrangements, please let my clerk know and they can work with you on that as well. Do you have any questions?
And no, I don't have any
All
more
right.
questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Valeriano. You are now free to exit the call. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Luis Vega, EM 10649. Hi, Mr. Vega. I think we're on this one over here. Yeah. All right. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed? One moment while I open your ticket. Looks like you have a ticket for careless driving and no proof of insurance. This is alleged to have occurred on November 23rd, 2021. The prosecutor has indicated that if you plead, that you did provide proof of insurance, so he's moving to dismiss that charge. He's offering to reduce the careless driving charge to a 2-point driving with a defective vehicle. Would you like to accept that offer? All right. And has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision? Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal? How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on November 23rd, 2021 at 270 in Fairfax in Commerce City, Colorado? Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know about your accident before I impose the fine? Looks like you were the only vehicle involved. What happened? Were you okay? Do we have an accident surcharge?
The judge generally.
There's no specific accident. Okay. All right, and I'm just looking at the accident report now. Normally the fine would be 200. You were the only vehicle involved though, so I'm going to go ahead and impose a $160 fine. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel fee, and a 30% surcharge. My clerk will have that total for you at the window. You'll have the options of paying that in full today to resolve your case completely, or if you do need more time, you can set up a payment arrangement. Any questions about that? All right, thank you, sir. Glad you could get your information taken care of today. Just see my clerk at the window. So this one, we're just getting a continuance.
Yeah. Judge had initially said no more, so it's registered for a year to talk about it.
Okay.
So
Does he need to see Mr. Cullen?
he does not see Mr. Gallen.
Is he in person?
No, he's on
Oh, okay. I'm good.
or bad.
You can wait. These other folks can see. All right, recalling Brenda Regenhagen, EM 3616. Prosecutor's not opposing a continuance one more time. I'm going to continue for 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
I know you can get this done. If you don't, that is your choice.
Okay.
But either way, you'll have to take care of this ticket. You're going to get that new court date at the windows. If you have completed your community service and turned it in, you may not need to appear. You will have to call and find out. If you have not completed it, you must appear or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Any questions about that? This is going to be your last continuance. Next time, the case is either going to get dismissed because you've done what you're supposed to do or not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, for my online folks, do I have Noe Rocha Martinez, EM 9199?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Mr. Rocha. Did you have any questions about the rights advisements that you reviewed?
No, I don't.
One moment while I open your case. Are they getting a written rights advisement by email or are they watching the video?
They watch the video.
Thank you. All right, so it looks like you have a ticket here with a couple of charges. This is from January 21st. Charges of careless driving, a 4-point violation, exhibition of speed, a 5-point violation, failing to stop at a stop sign, a 4-point violation, and failing to signal a turn, a 2-point violation. The prosecutor has made an offer that you would plead guilty to one charge of careless driving. The other original charges would get dismissed. That plea is conditioned upon you completing a 1-day class called Alive at 25. Would you like to accept this plea offer?
Yeah.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No,
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
no,
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
yes,
Do you understand that you are giving up the right to cross-examine witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own?
yeah,
Do you understand you give up the right to testify or to remain silent?
Yeah.
The maximum penalty that may be imposed against you on this case is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing?
Yeah.
Have you ever served in the U.S. military?
no,
The charge of careless driving says it's unlawful to drive in a careless and imprudent manner without due regard for the width, grade, curves, corners, traffic, and all other attendant circumstances and use of streets and the highways. Do you understand the charge of careless driving?
yes,
How do you plead to the 4-point charge of careless driving on January 21st, 2021 at Monaco and 60th in Commerce City, Colorado?
I plead guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea, find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
No,
One moment while I review the summons. All right. I understand why the officer charged you with each of the violations. Sir, we need to be careful when we're upset and we're driving. You're taking yourself and everybody else in the road into your hands, right?
yeah,
If you're so upset that you can't stop for stop signs and you can't signal, then perhaps it's not the best time to be driving.
okay. Yeah, I understand.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose a fine, but suspend part of the fine on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class. Are we going to email him the information about the class? In the email that you receive from my clerk, you're going to get information about the class. You can either take that class in person or online. If you choose to do the online version, you need to make sure that you click on the Colorado link to take the right class. So long as you provide proof of the certificate of completion before the next court date that my clerk gives to you, you will not need to appear. But if you have not completed it, you must appear or a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I don't.
All right, one moment. And I'm just looking at your driving record. Looks like you have a 3-pointer from 2021. So this is going to put you at 7 points, Mr. Rocha, which means you only have 1 point left. If you lose more than 1 point between now and June 8th, that's going to put you over your point limit.
Okay, I understand.
I'm imposing a $360 fine. I'm suspending 200 of it on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge, and 30% surcharge that gets added, and my clerks will explain that amount to you in the email that you receive. You have options regarding payment, including paying that in full, or you can set up a payment arrangement. If you do have need a payment arrangement, please let my clerks know so that they can work with you on that. Do you have any questions?
Can I clarify, do you want to set
No.
a video conference for this, or is this just sentencing?
This is just sentencing.
Okay.
Is that not how you guys do it?
That is, I just thought I
Okay.
heard you say next court date.
Do you not set a review date?
Not generally, we set a due date. That's not happening. We're sorry,
Okay.
they fail to
So
comply.
there will be a due date in the document
Due date. rather than a-
to review. All right, so it's a due date, not an appear date. If you don't provide the certificate before that due date, then the $200 that I previously suspended is going to be imposed against you. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
All right, sir, have a good rest of your day. You're free to exit the call.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Jeremy Fulton, EM 3228.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good afternoon, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you watched?
No,
All right, and you have a ticket here from January 24th, charge of failing to drive in a single lane. That's a 3-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle. Would you like to accept that offer?
yes,
Has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
no,
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
no,
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
yes,
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on January 24th, 2022 at I-270 in Vasquez in Commerce City, Colorado?
guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
No,
All right, it looks like there were no injuries. Everybody was okay. Sometimes these can be pretty bad, but it looks like everybody was okay. All right, and just looking at your driving record, one moment. Looks like you haven't had any tickets since 2018. So I am going to impose the standard amount of the fine, which is $160. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge, and 30% surcharge. My clerk will send you an email that has the total amount due and your payment options, which can be done in person, online, or through the mail. Do you have any questions today, sir?
no,
All right, be on the lookout for that email sometime later today, possibly tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. You're free to exit the call.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, bye-bye. Gareth Hetchler, EM 15016.
Hi, I'm here.
Good afternoon, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. One moment while I open up your citation. You have a ticket from January 26th for failing to yield after stopping at a stop sign. That's a 3-point violation. The prosecutor has offered to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle. Would you like to accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you give up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on January 26, 2021 in the 8000 block of Rosemary in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea, find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you would like me to know before I impose the fine?
No, ma'am.
One moment while I take a look at the report. So you left the scene of the accident?
I proceeded to the turn lane and pulled over. The person who rolled into me did not follow me on the green light. And I waited around a minute or two and I watched them go through the light, and I drive a beat up truck. So I didn't see much damage and I carried on to work.
All right. Well, I do want you to make sure that you're careful with that. That would be a 12-point violation. That's enough to take your license, so be careful.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right, it
That's-
looks like, go ahead.
That's one of the reasons why when I was told that somebody had reported something, I drove to the police station to make sure I got everything taken care of.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. It looks like it was minor. There were no injuries. I'm going to impose the standard fine, which is $120. There are $20 of court costs. There's a $9 surcharge and $9 fuel charge and 30% surcharge. You're going to get an email that has the total amount due and your payment options. That should come sometime later today. Do you have any questions, Mr. Hetchler?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, thank you. You are free to exit the call. Have a good rest of your day.
You as well.
Say what? Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
Royal Marshbank, you should have a notice on your screen asking you to join the breakout room. Can you please click that?
Cesar Ariolas, CM 293791.
Hello?
Hi, is this Cesar?
Yeah.
Good morning or good
Yeah.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
One moment while I pull up your citation. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No, I'm fine.
All right, so you have a ticket from 2019. Looks like it's for a charge of possession or consumption of alcohol by a minor. The prosecutor is offering to dismiss your case today. I am going to grant that dismissal, but I want you to know, if for future reference.
Yeah.
If you have a ticket, it does not just go away when you fail to appear. You need to make your court dates.
I went to court, but I had gone a class and I had forgotten to go to that class. So then, I had forgotten and time had passed by, and when I tried to go fixing it, it was when like the coronavirus was like at its point. So I was like kind of stuck there in between. So I just waited a little bit, and now I had remembered, and that's why I was trying to get everything cleared out.
All right. I'm going to grant the city's motion to dismiss. Because your case is now dismissed, it is eligible for sealing. In order to seal a case, you need to file a petition and pay a $65 fee. If you file that and the court orders the sealing, that means that you can legally say that the record does not exist. Do you have any questions about that?
So I have to pay the $65 so I could get the warrant cleared out, or
No, your warrant will be quashed since I have dismissed the case.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
So the
ahead and
65
I'm gonna waive your fees. So the only thing that you would have to pay the $65 for is if you choose to seal the case. You are not required to seal the case.
No, I won't.
If you don't think that it has an impact on your, employment, housing, education, then it's up to you, but it
Yeah.
certainly doesn't hurt to seal a case.
Yeah.
All right, and you can come to the courthouse to do that sealing action, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're free to go. Have a good rest of your day.
All right, thank you.
She's unmuted now.
Who?
So, just someone-
Go ahead. Who are you looking for?
Hello, Marshbank.
Ms. Marshbank, are you in the call? If so, I need you to push *6 or the microphone icon to unmute.
She's in the audience breakout.
Oh, okay. All right, Garrett Ortmeyer, EM 343.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video?
I did not, Your Honor.
Thank you. One moment while I open your case. All right, sir, it looks like you have a ticket here from January 31st for failing to yield while making a left turn or right turn. That's a 3-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle. Would you like to accept that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on January 31st, 2021 at 104th and Chambers in Commerce City, Colorado?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily.
I plead guilty.
Oh, thank you. I think you're breaking up a little bit there. Mr. Ortmeyer, if you want to turn your video off and just use your audio, that will usually help resolve that breaking up the issue. Is there anything?
Copy that, Your Honor.
Perfect. Is there anything that you wanted me to know about your accident before I impose the fine?
No, Your Honor.
Looks like everybody was okay. It looks like it was pretty minor damage. I'm just going to take a look at your driving record. You did have one other ticket from 2021, which is a 3-pointer. Point-wise, you'll still be okay. You have 6 points left. Was that an accident in Clear Creek?
Yes, it was a weather-related accident.
Okay. The reason I ask is if there are more than one accident reported to the Department of Motor Vehicle in a certain amount of time, they could request a retest. So I want you to be on the lookout for that in the mail. Importantly, you need to make sure that you have your address updated at the Department of Motor Vehicle, because if they do require that re-exam, they are going to send that to whatever location they have as your last known address. If you don't get it and don't appear at their hearing date, then they will just suspend your license. So you'll need to make sure that you have a good info.
Okay, I had updated my address when I moved, and the
Okay.
officer had my correct one when he pulled up for the ticket.
Perfect.
Is there anything further I need to do?
Nope, I don't think so. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware.
And is it guaranteed they will do that, or is it something they may or may not do?
I believe that they will do that.
Okay.
But of course, I don't know if they've had modifications to process during COVID, et cetera. So I'm just not sure. That is a DMV process, but I just wanted you to be aware of it, okay?
Thank you.
All right, sir, I am going to impose a fine of $160. There are $20 of court costs. There's a $9 fuel charge and 30% surcharge. My clerk is going to send you an email with the total amount due and your options for payment. That should come sometime later today. Do you have any questions?
I do not.
Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Joshua Mendoza, EM 14009.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Hi, Mr. Mendoza. Any questions about the rights advisement video that you watched?
No questions here.
All right, thank you. And one moment while I open up your ticket. All right, you have a ticket here from January 22nd for failing to yield while making a left turn. Excuse me, that's a 3-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight. Would you like to accept that offer?
I accept the offer.
Has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No,
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
no,
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
I understand.
How do you plead to the 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight on January 22nd, 2022 in 15,000 block of East 104th Avenue in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you'd like me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
Not really. It's just a small mistake.
All right. So, Mr. Mendoza, I'm not seeing a traffic accident report. Was there no accident caused here?
No accident. I was actually in front of a cop too. So
Okay, that
That
was
was
going to be
just-
my next question. Is it likely happened in front of an officer? I'm just going to look at the
yeah,
summons
it-
really quick.
he was the one I cut off.
All right, he says nearly causing an accident. All right.
They were a complete stop.
And I'm just going to take a look at your driving record really quick. Looks like you haven't had any tickets in the last 2 years. So I am going to impose the standard amount of the fine. That is $60. There's $20 of court costs, a $9 surcharge, $9 fuel charge, and 30% surcharge. You're going to be receiving an email from my clerk with that total amount and your payment options. That should be coming sometime later today. Do you have any questions?
No questions here.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. You're free to exit the call.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Excuse me, miss, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Am I in the right room? Because like mine has nothing to do with driving related incidents and like you've been talking about driving.
What's your name, sir?
Donovan Teague.
So, Mr. Teague, you're in the right place. This is the courtroom. You will probably be getting an invite to meet with the prosecutor very soon.
Oh.
We have one prosecutor and he meets with people individually. So once he's done with a person, then my clerk sends an invite for the next person to join him. When it's your turn to join the prosecutor, you will get an invite on your screen. You'll need to push that invite. Once you're done with the prosecutor, you're going to come back into the courtroom.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Samantha Skinner, EM 1968.
Yes.
Hi, Ms. Skinner. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No, ma'am.
All right, one moment. Ms. Skinner, are you under 18?
Yes, ma'am.
And who did you bring with you today?
My mom, Wendy Skinner.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up a little bit. Tell me your mom's name again.
Wendy Skinner.
Thank you. Mrs. Skinner, did you have any questions about your daughter's rights?
No, I don't.
All right, thank you. So it looks like you have a ticket here, Ms. Skinner. You guys are really breaking up. So what I want you to do is turn your video off so that the audio comes through clear.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you. All right, so you have a ticket here from January 30th for speeding, it's a 6-point violation, and no proof of insurance, a 4-point violation. It looks like you were able to provide your insurance to the prosecutor, so that charge is getting dismissed. On the speeding charge, the prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 3-point charge of improper lane usage. Would you like to accept that plea offer?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mrs. Skinner, is your daughter entering into this agreement with your permission?
Yes.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to the 3-point charge of improper lane usage on January 30th, 2022 in the area of the 11,100 block of Highway 2 in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know before I impose the fine?
Yes, that I didn't realize how fast I was going at the time, and that I really, or what was I gonna say? I learned my lesson. That's it.
All right. And is this your first ticket?
Yes, ma'am.
And last?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the officer clocked you going 73 and a 45. That's well over the speed limit. And I understand that a lot of the other cars around you might have been going fast, but you really need to be aware when we're driving. There are so many things that we have to be aware of. And a lot of that comes with experience. And I want you to get a feel of what your car feels like at different speeds so that you know what it feels like when you're going 73. All right, I am going to impose the standard amount of the fine in your case, which is $160. There are $20 of court costs. There's a $9 fuel charge and a 30% surcharge. My clerk is going to provide you an email with all of that information that should come later today, possibly early tomorrow, including your payment options. Do either of you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you both. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Stephen Cornelius, EM 7680.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Cornelius. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No.
All right, one moment while I open your summons. You have a ticket here from January 30th for careless driving. That's a 4-point violation. The prosecutor has offered to reduce your ticket to a 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight. Would you like to accept that offer?
Yes.
Has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you're giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes.
How do you plead to the 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight on January 30th, 2022 in the 15,000 block of 104th Avenue in Oh my gosh, in Commerce City, Colorado. I
Guilty.
forgot what city I was in.
You're
Thank
guilty.
you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know about your accident before I impose the fine, sir?
No, it's just one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my life, and
That's a great
I
one.
need to become more focused, and I'm really aware of what it means to drive with distractions or so many distractions, and I've got to get it together here.
You and 90% of the other drivers out there. We are all really distracted now. All of us with our phones that we're addicted to, it's hard to put them down. We use them when we're driving for directions. So yeah, it's a lot of distractions and I appreciate you recognizing that.
Yeah, and I'm working hard on it.
All right, and it looks like your vehicle was the only one involved. Nobody was injured. And I'm just going to take a look at your driving record. Looks like you did have one other ticket in 2021, but point-wise, you're okay. This puts you at 2 points, so you still have 9 left. So point-wise, you're doing all right. All right, sir, I am going to impose, normally based upon the case, the fine would be $200, but since it's a single car accident, I'm going to impose $120. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge, and 30% surcharge. You're going to get an email from my clerks with the total payment that is due and payment options. Be on the lookout for that later today, possibly tomorrow. Do you have any questions, Mr. Cornelius?
No, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Have a good rest of your day. Drive safe.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Jose Caballero Reyna, EM 6185.
Good afternoon, Judge. Jimena Moedas, registration 55820, appearing on behalf of Mr. Caballero Reyna, and I'll be waiving his appearance today.
All right, thank you, Ms. Moedas. And it looks like we are continuing the case for you to get discovery from the prosecutor.
Yes, I had a conversation with the city attorney. My assistant requested discovery back on 2/15, but we haven't heard back. So we're just gonna ask for a continuance in order to get that.
Okay. Am I clearing the date with her here or am I sending her to the clerk's office?
Typically we do 6 weeks out. She has availability around, 6 weeks.
But am I going to give her the date here? All right. We're looking at about 4 to 6 weeks out on a Thursday again, if that works for you.
Will that be in the afternoon as well?
Yes.
Okay. I'm available if it's not too far out, Thursday, April 7th.
That's fine. Does Tuesday work? Tuesday? No, I'm sorry. It has to be a Thursday.
Yeah, she said Thursday, April 7th.
Did you say Thursday, April 7th? I'm sorry. My ear hurts.
Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes, that is the 7th is a Thursday, Judge.
Again, looking at my calendar.
Okay, Thursday, April 7th at 1:30 or 1:15 p.m. All right, and if you'll forward that date on to your client, Ms. Mojidas.
I will, Judge. Thank you. And will that also be a virtual appearance like today?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much.
Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Likewise.
Lexi Johnson, EM 7678.
Yes.
Hi, Ms. Johnson. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you reviewed?
No, I did not.
All right, one moment while I open up your case. Looks like you have a ticket here from January 22nd for speeding. That's a 6-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 3-point charge of making an improper lane usage. Would you like to accept that charge? Or that
Yes.
plea offer?
Yes.
Has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes.
How do you plead to the 3-point charge of improper lane usage on January 22nd, 2022 in the 5500 block of Highway 85 in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you'd like me to know before I impose the fine?
No.
All right, so it looks like the officer clocked you going 67 and a 45. Looks like you haven't had any tickets in quite some time. I am going to impose a $120 fine. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge, and a 30% surcharge. You're going to receive an email from my clerk with the total payment due and some options in regard to your payment. If you need a payment plan, that can be arranged with the clerk's office. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
All right, please be on the lookout for that email sometime later today,
Okay, thank
possibly
you.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye.
Kenneth Johnson, EM 14013. Mr. Johnson, come up to the desk right in front of you there. Mr. Johnson, did you watch the rights advisement video? Do you have any questions about your rights? You have a ticket here for a charge of theft and resisting arrest from January 23rd. My understanding is that you'd like to apply for the public defender? I have an application here. Are you able to fill that out today? Wonderful. Do we have any pens over there?
The judge usually just writes it out.
Oh.
That way He asks the questions and if they're looking for whatever. I'm happy to give it to him, whatever works best for you.
I can either have you fill it out or we can go over the questions together. If we do that, then all of your financial information will be on the record. Are you more comfortable filling that out or do you want me to review it with you? All right. Mr. Johnson, do you have a place that you live?
Yes, ma'am.
And where is that location?
831 I-76 Service Road, Henderson, Colorado, 80640.
All right, and do you have any dependents that live with you, any children?
No, ma'am.
Just live by yourself? Are you married?
No, ma'am, I'm single.
All right. All right, Mr. Henderson, are you working right now?
No, Johnson, ma'am.
Henderson's where you live. Mr. Johnson, are you working right now?
No, ma'am, I'm going, I should be getting hired in a couple of days.
Okay, where is that going to be?
That's gonna be at EE Distribution.
Okay. How many hours will you be working when you live there or work there?
8 hours.
8 hours a day or a week?
8 hours a day and 5 days a week.
And what's your wage going to be?
$18 an hour.
All right, well, that sounds like a pretty good gig. Are you paying rent where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How much is that?
And okay.
$2.77 a day?
Yeah.
Two a day? A week. Okay, that sounds more reasonable. I thought maybe you were living in the Taj Mahal there, sir. Do you have any other income like social security or disability benefits? All right, so for right now, I am going to find that you qualify for the public defender. If your employment status changes and you're making more than the income eligibility guidelines, that may change, and I'm gonna have you fill out a new application if we get too far down the road. But for right now, I am going to find that the public defender does qualify. All right, so we're going to continue your case until a date where you can meet with your public defender. What day do we set public defenders? March 24th? All right, so we are going to continue your case until March 24th, 2022 at 1:15 p.m. Yep, we're going to give you a written reminder when you go to the window to see the clerk. You're going to meet your public defender that day. It will be important that you remain in good communication with your public defender so that they can help you on your case. One moment.
I believe this gentleman has a warrant on this case.
What was your question?
Should I, oh, his number gonna be on there, or should I, okay, thank you.
Let's make sure we have your right phone number. Do you have a phone number available?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
720-461-1435.
Got it. All right, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Go ahead and go to the windows and you'll see my clerk to get that new court date. Your warrant is quashed. Thank you. Jordan Horvath, EM 11120.
Present, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Horvath. And let me pull up your case real quick. All right, Mr. Horvath, you were supposed to be here yesterday. What happened?
Your Honor, I live in Sterling, and I tried to do the Zoom meeting, and it wouldn't let me register for my AM slot. It went like it was all gray. And I emailed the clerks about it, and they told me to register for tomorrow's date.
Gotcha. It sounds like court was canceled for yesterday, so.
Okay, thank you. Kind of scared me there.
All right. I'm looking through the registry of actions here.
There you go, homie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So beautiful.
All right, sir. It looks like you owe a fine and costs. Were you supposed to complete any other conditions?
No, ma'am. And with the cost, I've just been in the process of moving. Like I just got into a new place, and I was like all my money, like I've been tapped out. I just got a job. I just started working at Wendy's probably today. I'm in here about to give him my ID and fill out everything, start work. I could make a half payment on that within
Today?
2 to 3 weeks, maybe. I'm tapped out on any type of funds right now, if at all possible, or even like a $25 payment or something today.
All right, so the total that you owe is $289.
Okay.
If I give you one final continuance for 30 days, does that give you enough time to save up from your new job to make that payment in full?
Yes.
All right, that's gonna be it, Mr. Horvath. You're gonna get 30 more days. You're going to receive an email with that due date. As long as you have your fine paid off prior to that date, you will not need to appear. If something happens and you are unable to pay, you'll need to appear.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Good luck at your new job. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Seth Rail, EM 14014.
How's it going, Your Honor?
Great. Mr. Rail, one moment. My clerk needs to ask a question to somebody in the meeting. Give me 1 sec.
So the phone number ending in 573, can we ask who you are?
They're not connected by audio. Do you see that little? So they are.
Yes, they dialed in on phone.
They're unmuted. 573, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, can we ask you your name?
Yes, my name is Pearl Marshbanks.
Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and place you into a breakout room with the city attorney.
I appreciate you, sir.
Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't think that her audio was on. All right, thank you. Back on Mr. Rail. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed, sir?
No.
All right, and you have a ticket for careless driving, no proof of insurance, and defective or unsafe vehicle. Looks like you needed to get a continuance to provide your insurance. Is that right?
Yeah. And yeah.
All right. Do you have any questions about what you need to provide from your insurance company?
No.
All right, so you're going to receive a new court date in about 3 to 4 weeks from the clerk's office. They're going to send you an email. We'll do another Zoom docket just like today, so I want you to be prepared to appear by Zoom. If it's possible for you to get your insurance over to the court prior to that court date, that's great. Otherwise, I want you to be prepared to show it to the prosecutor by the video function like you're using now on your next court date. Do you have any questions?
Can you read me my my charges again by chance?
Of course. So it's careless driving resulting in injury, no proof of insurance, and defective or unsafe vehicle. These are alleged to have occurred on September 25th, 2021 at 120 North Tower Road.
Wait, so the first one is that considered speeding over? Because like I can show you,
Actually, hang on. I'm confused also about why it's careless resulting in injury when there's not an accident box marked. Hang on, there is an accident report though.
I wasn't in an accident at all.
Hang on 1 sec.
Thank you.
Am I in the wrong ticket or in the wrong? I'm sorry. I was reading, I'm in the wrong case. No wonder you were like, what am I charged with?
It's okay, Your Honor.
Oh, hang on, ma'am. I'm not on your case yet.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rael. The charges.
Yeah.
The
I was
charges
freaking out for a bit. I was like, what? I don't remember doing that.
a 6-point speeding violation, 4-point no proof of insurance, and 5-point exhibition of speed.
Yeah.
All right, that sound more like your ticket? Sorry to scare you there.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna get you that new court date by email. Be on the lookout for that sometime later today, possibly tomorrow. Do you have any questions?
I do not, and you said that's gonna be on Zoom, and you guys are gonna send the email of when the court date's gonna be and all that stuff?
Yes,
Sounds good. I appreciate it so much.
thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Ms. Marshall? Yeah,
She is not.
okay. Make sure, because I have her back. Douglas Seaton, EM 338.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Good afternoon, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No,
All right, and you have a ticket here from January 31st, a charge of reckless driving, which is an 8-point violation, and no proof of insurance, which is a 4-point violation. The prosecutor has indicated that you did provide proof of your insurance, so that charge is getting dismissed. He is offering to reduce your 8-point reckless driving charge to a 4-point careless driving charge on condition that you complete a level 1 driving class. Would you like to accept this plea offer?
yes, ma'am.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No,
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
no, ma'am.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you're giving up the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes,
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to have a trial and have the city prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
yes, ma'am.
Do you understand you're giving up the right to testify or to remain silent?
Yes,
Do you understand you're giving up the right to confront witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own?
yes,
Do you understand you give up the right to appeal?
yes, ma'am.
The maximum penalty that could be imposed against you is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever served in the U.S. military?
No, haven't.
The charge of reckless driving says it's unlawful to drive in a willful and wanton manner without due regard for the persons or property on the roadway. Do you understand the charge of reckless? My apologies. Let me read you the charge of careless driving. Careless driving means that it is unlawful for any person to drive in a careless and imprudent manner without due regard for the width, grade, curves, corners, traffic, use of streets and highways, and all other attendant circumstances. Do you understand the charge of careless driving?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to the charge of careless driving on January 31st, 2022 in the 8900 block of Highway 2 in Commerce City, Colorado?
Very guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you'd like me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
No, I was just being impatient and stupid.
All right, let me take a look at what the officer wrote here. So it looks like you went into the wrong lane of traffic. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I did notice, I looked, to make sure there was no cars coming at me. And again, just being impatient because all the cars were going the speed limit. I did the wrong thing.
All right. And you had your dad in the car.
No, my dad, I had to go to the bank and then I had to go see my dad in Arvada.
Oh, okay.
No, he wasn't there at the time.
All right. So, and then it looks like you have one other ticket in the last couple of years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose a fine, but suspend part of your fine on condition that you complete the level 1 driving class. That class can be completed in person or online. You are going to get information about the class by email from my clerk. There will be a date that your certificate is due by. If you do not turn your certificate in, then the part of the fine that I am imposing today will become owing against you. Any questions about that?
No, thank you. They have my correct email address?
I'm happy to write it down if you don't think we have it right.
My wife says it, you have it.
If we sent you a Zoom link, we should have it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I am imposing a $480 fine. I am suspending half of it, $240, on condition that you complete the level 1 driving school.
So when do I pay this? I mean, can I pay it? This Site Pay USA,
Yes, you can.
can I do that? I mean, do I pay the 480 or the,
No. So I'm imposing 480. I'm suspending half of that, which means you don't have to pay half of that on condition that you provide proof of completion of the 1-day class. There are $20 of court costs and a $9 fuel charge. There's a 30% surcharge. You'll get the total amount that is due in an email from my clerk. That email will have a link for you to pay at the site pay. You can pay that portion that I have not suspended online. And then that would leave you with the only requirement is to provide proof of completion of the class.
okay,
If you fail to provide proof of completion of the class, then the 240 that I have suspended will become owing against you. Any questions about that?
no, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good rest of your day.
And I apologize to you and the district or who. Thank
City
you.
attorney.
City
Thank
attorney.
you. I appreciate that, Mr. Seaton. And I have full confidence that we won't see you here again for that kind of thing.
No, no.
All right, have a good day.
My wife don't let me drive no more.
Smart wife. I'm teasing. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Pearl Marshbank, EM 14018. Ms. Marshbank, you'll just need to push *6 or the microphone icon to unmute.
This is Pearl Marshbank, Your Honor. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Ms. Marshbank, did you have any questions about the rights advisement video?
No, I don't. And I was trying to do the Zoom, but they kicked me out. So I guess I didn't know what I was doing.
Not a problem. We have you here and that's all that matters. Ms.
Thank
Marshbank,
you.
you have a ticket here. One moment while I open that up.
Okay.
This is from January 30th, and it's a charge of speeding. That's a 4-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle. Would you like to accept that offer?
Yes, I would.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you give up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on January 30th, 2022 in the area of 96th and Highway 2 in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know before I impose the fine?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a grandmother and I'm caring for 5 children in my home and I want a fixed income.
All right. Sounds like you have a lot going on.
I do. I do.
I do see that you have one other ticket from 2021. That was a 1-point violation.
Yes,
Hang on
ma'am.
One sec.
And I haven't had any tickets for about 20 years until then.
It looks like you actually
was
got 2
actually
tickets in
good.
Commerce City last year.
Yes.
All right. So normally the fine would be 160. This was not an egregious speed, so I'm going to impose 120. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge, and a 30% surcharge. Ms. Marshbank, you're going to get an email from my clerk with your payment options. And that's going to come sometime later today, possibly tomorrow. If you need a payment plan, you'll have that option in the email as well. Do you have any
Okay.
questions?
No, ma'am. I appreciate whatever you can do, ma'am. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Ms. Marchbank. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye. I don't have anything else. I thought I had, didn't I?
Donovan and Ross back are in the breakout first.
Hello, this is Diamond Teague's mom waiting.
Ma'am, we are looking for Mr. Teague's file. I'll be with you as soon as we get it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, he's available. He's off the call.
No.
I think he knows, but I think he's on a somewhat important call. No.
Adam, do you have Pete's 211?
Donovan Teague, it looks like you've already spoken to the city attorney. Can we just confirm that?
Yes, we already spoke to the city attorney. I think maybe a few weeks ago.
Have you spoken to him today?
No, we didn't speak to one today, but we turned in the proof of the class, the petty theft, and we also turned in the community service information that you requested. And he waived Donovan doing the essay because he is special needs with a 504.
Okay. We'll go ahead and place you into his breakout room in a moment. So just keep an eye out on your screen. There should be a pop-up that appears that says join breakout room. And just click that when it pops up.
How do I do it?
Yeah.
No, just say go into the break room.
People showed up strong today. Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's good. You had a lot.
How is this compared to using the features that we're not using?
There is way too much clicking.
That's kind of what I
Yeah. Full court, the thing that full court does poorly in all of them is the like the driving history. It would be great if that was on the.
I don't know why they changed it to this.
But to have to go to this nonsense party detail. Also.
Are we
Not yet.
trying to?
Let me call this one first. He's been here for a while. Donovan Teague, EM 3082.
I'm gonna go ahead. You can.
Am I muted? I'm not muted. Mr. Teague, are you still with me? I don't think he came back into the courtroom. Jacob Rosbach, EM 3682.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Rosbach. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
I did not.
All right, and let me open your ticket. Looks like you have a ticket from January 23rd, a charge of speeding. That's a 6-point violation. The prosecutor has indicated that if you plead guilty to a 3-point charge of improper lane usage, he would dismiss the original 6-point charge. The condition of that plea offer is that you complete the one-day driving class alive at 25. Would you like to accept that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rosbeck, do you have a parent or guardian with you today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And hi, can I get your name for the record?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Jason Rosbeck.
Thank you, Mr. Rosbeck. And is your son entering into this plea agreement with your permission?
Yes, he is.
Thank you. All right, Jacob, how do you plead to the added 3-point charge of improper lane usage on January 23rd, 2022 at the 12,700 block of 104th in Commerce City, Colorado?
I plead guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so the officer said he clocked you going 80 and a 45. Why were you driving that fast?
I don't have a reason, just going fast, trying to have fun.
All right, was it fun getting a ticket?
No, Your Honor.
Is it fun paying extra on your insurance?
No.
Right. It looks like the officer thought originally that you might have been involved in a speed contest. Speed contest is a 12-point violation. It is enough to take an adult's license. It's way more than enough to take a juvenile's license.
I understand.
There are places that you can go to do those kind of things like Vandermeer or the Erie National Speedway, but you can't do that on the roadways. The speed limits are there for a reason.
Yes,
Have
Your
you
Honor.
ever had a ticket before?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose a fine, but suspend part of the fine on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class. That class can either be done in person or online. If you choose to do the online version, I want you to make sure that you click on the Colorado link so that you take the right course. You're going to get information about the class from my clerk today by email. You will also get information on the payment of the fine that I am not suspending. As long as you complete the class and provide certificate of completion before the due date, then you do not need to appear. If something happens, then you're going to need to appear and ask for more time. If you fail to appear and fail to provide proof of the certificate, then the part of the fine that I'm suspending today will be imposed against you. Any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
One moment. All right. Normally the fine is $240. I'm going to double it to $480, but suspend it back down to $240, which means you're not going to have to pay $240 on condition that you complete the class. There are $20 of support costs. There's a $9 fuel charge and a 30% surcharge. You will get information in your email about how to make payment on that. You can make a payment plan if you need to do that. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Rosbach, any questions?
No, I'm just curious which email address you are going to send that to make sure that we get it taken care of.
One moment, I'm going to check.
Okay.
Jason Rosbach at iCloud.
We have it coming to yours, Jason
Perfect.
Rosbach at
Yep,
iCloud.
thank you. Yep.
Thank you both. Have a good rest of your day. You may now exit the call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Donovan Teague, EM 3082. And Mr. Teague, you'll just need to push *6 or the microphone icon to unmute.
Hello?
We're here.
Hello?
Sorry.
That's okay.
We're here.
All right. And Donovan, who did you bring with you today?
My mom.
Hi there, ma'am. Can I get your name for the record?
Sonia Reddick.
Thank you, Ms. Redditch. It looks like, Donovan, you did complete all of your requirements that the prosecutor required in exchange for dismissal of your case. So he is asking the court to dismiss your case today. I am granting that motion to dismiss. Your case is now eligible for expungement. I'm going to order the expungement. What that means is that you can now legally say that this record does not exist. Do you have any questions about that?
No, thank you.
All right, you both have a good rest of your day. You're free to exit the call.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
bye-bye. Hector Gascott Chinea, EM 7677.
Yep.
Hi there, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and do you have a parent or guardian with you today?
Yep, I'm right here.
All right, hi, what's your name?
Frank,
And what's your last name, Frank?
SAENZ.
Thank you, Mr. Science. Did you have any questions about your son's rights?
No, I think the previous section, he explained that, it would be that we would do a half a day class. They would reduce the points. So I do believe that that's a good idea. So we appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, so the offer in the case, you are charged with a 6-point speeding violation, Hector. The offer is to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on condition that you complete the 1-day Alive at 25 driving class. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, I would.
And Mr. Science, your son is entering into this agreement with your permission?
That is correct. Yes.
All
Your-
right. Hector, has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that pleading guilty today means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes, I understand.
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on January 22nd, 2022 at the 5500 block of Highway 85 in Commerce City, Colorado?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know before I impose the fine?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Have you ever had a ticket before, Hector?
This is my first one.
And last, right?
Yes.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose a fine, but I'm going to suspend part of that fine on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class. That means that the fine that I say is going to be big, but you don't have to pay all of it as long as you do the class, right?
Okay.
And this is the 1-day class, Your Honor, right?
It is a 1-day class. It can either be done in person or online. You're going to
Okay.
get the information about the class by email from my clerk. If you choose to do the online class, you need to make sure that you click on the Colorado link to take the right class.
Okay.
So I am imposing a fine of $360. I am suspending 200 of it, which means you don't have to pay that 200 as long as you complete the class and turn in your certificate. There are $20 of court costs plus a $9 fuel charge. There's a 30% surcharge. You're going to get the total amount due also sent to you in that email. If you need a payment plan, the clerks will work with you on that. Do you have any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Science, any questions?
Yep, no, were we clear on the charges?
She just explained that they're gonna send it to me.
Okay, and what is the total charge again? I guess I wasn't that clear of what we're going to have to pay.
So it's going to be 160 plus 29, so that's 189 plus 30%. It's the 30% of the fine, right?
Yeah, the 30% of what you said.
Okay,
Hang on, I can do the math, I promise.
I know all the numbers now.
So it's 160.
Yeah.
I like words, not numbers, so I'm opening up my
That's okay.
calculator.
yeah,
So it's 48 plus 29 plus 160. So the total is 237.
okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, and we'll send you that by email too.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Mhm.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. Mr. Maestas, have you spoken to the prosecutor yet?
Yeah, they just.
Oh, okay. You should be getting an invite to meet with the prosecutor in just a moment. He's meeting with somebody else right now. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we have done some of the 3 o'clocks already. What about McCorkle?
We entered the room.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mocking me.
It's not chocolate
I
pudding,
know.
it's just in the mix.
Big rip off.
All right, Aiden McCorkle, EM 14016.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. All right, and Mr. McCorkle, did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you watched?
No, ma'am.
And is that your mom that's with you today?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey there, ma'am. Can I get your name for the record?
Angela McCorkle.
Thank you, Ms. McCorkle. And did you have any questions about your son's rights?
No.
All right, one moment. I need to open up the summons. All right, Aiden, you have a ticket here for assault. Ms. McCorkle, my understanding is that you are the alleged victim on this case. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Aiden and Ms. McCorkle, what we need to do is appoint a guardian ad litem. The reason that we need to do that is because a juvenile needs to have the permission of their parent to enter into a plea agreement. And when we have a parent who is an alleged victim, that creates a conflict because we need to ensure that what happens is in the best interest of the juvenile. And so that's where the role of a guardian ad litem comes in. Aiden, that is not an attorney to represent you on a case. So it's not like a public defender. It's somebody to step into the role of the parent to make sure that you are making a decision that is in your best interest. They can talk you through your rights and options, but ultimately they can't provide you legal advice. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. McCorkle, any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to give you a new court date. I'm going to appoint a guardian ad litem to your case, Aiden. And then when you come back, you'll be with that person when you meet with the prosecutor and go over your rights and options with them then, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I did ask if I was not going to press charges, if that would make any difference.
So ultimately, the charging decision is up to the prosecutor. You can certainly let him know anything that you'd like to about that. And you can, obviously have a private conversation with him if you want to phone him and leave a message for him to get back to you, or if he's here, he doesn't work full time at this court, so you may have to leave a message. But he'll certainly listen to anything that you might have to say. It could affect, he could decide to dismiss it. It could affect the way he proceeds with the case, but it really is up to the prosecutor whether or not to prosecute. Even if you said, Ms. McCorkle, I really, 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 really don't want this case to go forward, he could still make the decision to go forward.
Okay. Who is that prosecutor? How do I contact him?
That's Mr. Gollin, and that's who you just spoke to. Do we have his phone number here? Okay, my clerk's gonna check on that phone number for us. Just a moment.
Thank you.
That phone number is going to be 303-289-3622.
Thank you.
You betcha. All right, so you're gonna get a new court date by email. Well, that's weird. Are we sending the court date to mom or to?
We will send it to the email address that registered. I do believe that was mom for
Yeah.
this case. Well, to again.
It's a Bornham and McCorkle address.
So we're gonna send the new court date to your email address, Ms. McCorkle. We're also gonna send that to the guardian ad litem. Her name, the one that we typically use is Jennifer McGinn. She'll be calling to talk to you, Aiden. Do you have a separate cell phone number, Aiden?
Yeah, it's 720-835-7143.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna receive that email, Ms. McCorkle. Ms. McGinn will be reaching out to you, Aiden. Do either of you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank
No,
you.
ma'am.
Aiden, do you have a personal email that you want us to send you a copy of the notice to as well?
Oh, no, I'm not really good with email.
You like the cell better?
I'm better with the cell, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Have a good rest of your day. You're free to exit the call.
Thank
too,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye. Anthony Maestas, EM 8634.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Mr. Maestas. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No. No.
All right, and Mr. Maestas, who did you bring with you today? Is this your mom?
Yes.
All right, and can I get your name for the record, ma'am?
Don Diaz?
Did you say Vaughn Diaz?
No, Don.
Oh, Don Diaz, thank you. Ms. Diaz, did you have any questions about your son's rights?
No, I didn't. I did have a question about so about the points. Do they every year do they renew or does he
They don't renew. So what happens is when you're under 18, so during your year of 16 and 17, you are allowed to accumulate 5 points in 12 months, 6 points in 24 months. Once you turn 18, the ticket doesn't stop counting against you, but the number of points that you can accumulate gets bigger. How old is
Okay.
Anthony now?
He's 17. He'll be 18 in November.
Okay, so when he turns 18 in November, he'll be allowed to lose 8 points in 12 months. And it
Okay.
goes by the day that you get the ticket, not by any other date. He does have one other 4-point ticket counting against him this year. So by accepting this 2-point defective vehicle charge, that's going to be over the point limit.
I thought so. His other one was only supposed to be 4 points or 2 points. So I thought this other one was 2 points too.
The DMV record shows that the Denver ticket was a 4-pointer.
Okay, so what now? Does that mean his permit is revoked?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they take action on a permit. I don't know if they automatically reduce the number of points that he can get once he gets his license issued. What they do at the DMV is a bit of a mystery to everyone, so I just don't know. If you wanted to get a continuance to talk to the DMV to see how this may affect his license, you certainly can.
Can I do that? Can I do that? Because I'm at a funeral. We're at a funeral right now, and yeah, I tried to get it rescheduled, but that wasn't happening. I just didn't want to not show up. But yeah, can I get a continuance just to make sure? I just don't want him driving around without if I get a continuance, will the same offer still be on the table or no?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? Any other
No.
questions?
No, I don't have no questions other
All
than
right.
that.
You're going to get a new court date by email. It's going to be in about 3 to 4 weeks. So you'll need to get in contact with the DMV as soon as you can to find out that
Yes.
information.
Okay.
And that'll be another Zoom call. So we'll see you back here then. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
You bet. Have a good day. Thank you.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Is that it?
That is everybody who has registered for